Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So in the previous video we learned how to make the six-fold rosette. I taught you through the grid etc how to make it. Today we're going to be learning how to interlace this pattern and create an effect in this pattern inshallah. So first off, I've already created this from before, which you already know how to do, and eventually I would like for you to create something like this. So if you see the lines are overlapping each other at certain intervals, which gives an effect of it weaving into one another. Okay, so this is what I'm going to teach you how to do inshallah today. So here is our basic six-fold rosette. Then what I would like for you to do is you will need a ruler and you will need a pencil, right? Obviously you're going to need your rubber for later on, depending on what rubber you would like to use. Okay, now what you would do is you're going to make marks inside of this six-fold rosette. In my case, I'm going to be choosing a half a centimeter mark. Okay, so I'll put a mark here, then I'll put a mark over there as well. Okay, why I'm putting these marks will become clear to you afterwards. Also here I will be putting another mark, okay, and over here as well. Okay, I'm going to repeat that all around, so I'll just rotate that just to make it easier for me. Right, so I'm going to put half a centimeter mark here, half a centimeter mark here, okay, also here and here. Okay, then I'll be rotating this and doing the same all along. So half a centimeter here and half a centimeter here, half a centimeter here and half a centimeter here. Now if you look carefully, I've made marks all along this six-fold rosette, and I made sure that those marks are half a centimeter away from that line. Okay, next I will be moving on to these parts here, right, and I will be making marks along them in exactly the same way, and it will be the same with the same measurement. So if you look carefully, you will understand. I'll be making a mark here, over here, all along these. Okay, I'll explain why. So do it in the center of that panel. Right, once you've made all of these marks, then you're going to start creating lines inside this pattern. Okay, now you don't have to be that careful with the lines because you're doing it with a pencil, but make sure that you're doing straight lines. Once you've done the lines, you're going to be coloring it in to create that effect inshallah. Okay, so I'll be making lines inside. It doesn't matter if the lines go outside, it's fine because you are going to be rubbing all of that out. Okay, so I'm going to be creating my lines like this. Now it's good to actually see where you're doing the lines, so that way you'll be able to make the ruler straight. Okay. Okay. You're gonna follow this process all along this whole star. Okay, then I've only got two more sides left, so I've got this side and I've got this side. Now notice how I'm leaving space here so that I can see whether the line is straight or not. I could have just done it like this as well, right? But yes, it will come out straight in the sense that I've already put measurements there, but just to give me that ease of mind, I will do it this way, but that way I can see this part here. Okay. Right, once that is done, now remember the measurements that we put along these panels, they're gonna come in handy. So we're gonna be putting lines across like this. What you can do is you don't have to go all the way to the edge. You can just keep a bit of a gap here, because after doing this you must have realized that there will be a line created over here, so you don't really have to take it all the way to that end. If you want to, you can, but I'd rather you leave that. Okay. Same here. Okay, so can you see there's this lovely line and grid coming out where there was none. Okay, so you're going to be following this process all around, inshallah. If you look carefully, I'm not really going along this area anymore because I know I'm gonna have to rub it off, so I'm just taking it up to that line and I'm just having a mental measurement in place where I'm going to be stopping here. Okay. Oh, look at that, actually missed out panel. So let's put that there and that over here, just so that my measurement is correct. Okay, then at this point it's okay because you're still doing it with a pencil. Okay, if there were parts where you're doing with a pen, well, you'll have to be extra careful because you can't really rub it out. But from my point of view, you should be extremely careful even when you're doing it with a pencil. Okay, that way when you do it with a pen, you're already used to being careful. Okay, you don't want the carelessness of using a pencil moving into your usage of a pen. Okay, so now that we've got this wonderful pattern here, what we're going to be doing is we can start coloring it in. Okay, before we color it in, we could also get rid of the lines that we don't want. Okay, so I've got a rubber here and I can get rid of these lines. Okay, but you can even use it till afterwards, because once you actually color in the interlace, it will stand out anyway. Okay, so if you want to, you can take these lines off. Right now, if you notice, you can actually see my pen marks around here, okay? So they will cause a problem afterwards, which is why I'm having to use thick colors, so, you know, so that I cover up those pencil marks or those pen marks. Usually what you would do, there is a process of using a tracing paper. So when you place the tracing paper on top of here, you will usually put what you call it, masking tape to hold it in place, and then you will be doing that particular pattern on the tracing paper, and then you will transfer that right onto another paper. So we're not going to be going through that process today. I just want to show you a basic way of creating a interlace. Okay, so I will just be getting some pens. Now here I'm using some metallic brush pens. You can use whichever pen you would like. So I'm using two types of colors here. So the main objective is, say for example, I colored this part in, okay? So I'll just take it all the way down up to this line, okay? Now if you notice, I'm actually covering this intersection up here, okay? So here I will cover up the intersection, right? However, in the next one, I won't cover it. I'm actually gonna miss that intersection completely, okay? Because I want to create an effect. Okay, so if you see, I've come up to here, right? And then I stopped, okay? And I didn't cover this part up. In the first one, I did cover it up, but in the second one, I didn't, right? Then, in the next one, I'm going to cover it up. So I'll just show you. I'm going to cover that up now. Okay. So I'll quickly color that. So I know it does seem like a long process, but once you get doing it, it actually becomes easier, and you can do this interlacing on any geometry pattern that you do. There are many people who do geometry and they love doing this interlacing, and they do it on nearly every pattern that they do. It creates a wonderful effect. So I'll just color this part in, okay? You can use whatever color you have, it doesn't matter, okay? I'm using this because it's nice and thick and it's gonna cover up the pen marks, okay? So if you look here, this one I covered, the next intersection I didn't cover, the one after that I did cover, then this one, yes, you've guessed correctly, I'm not gonna cover. Okay, so I'm just going to miss that line completely and move on to here. Okay. Usually you would do this in a time lapse, but obviously I'm not going to do it like that because I have to make sure that you can see it clearly. Now I didn't cover on this one, isn't it? But this one I will. So basically you're going to miss out, you're going to cover one and you're going to miss the next one. Okay, then obviously because I covered here, I covered this part up of the line, when I come to this intersection, I'm not going to cover. Okay. I like using brush pens because you can press down on it and make it thick, or you can use the tip and make thin strokes. So It's really good for calligraphy as well. Okay, so that's my metallic purple part done. And if you see, right, I started from this side, and at every intersection I actually made sure that I was covering one intersection and leaving the other one uncovered, then covering the next one but leaving the next one uncovered, covering the next one, leaving the next one uncovered. Okay, so if you look there, you can see that, but the beauty will still not become apparent as yet until you actually use another color. Okay, so for this, what I'm gonna do is, because this part was left empty, I'm gonna color over that, make sure that it's covered. Okay, there's another way. So this part was left empty, I'm gonna make sure I cover it up. Okay, this side was left empty, I'm gonna make sure that I cover it up. Okay, there. Now these parts were covered up, isn't it? That means this green metallic will only be up to there. Okay, same over at this side. Okay, then over here, right, the reason why I'm doing it like this is to make it clear for you, but obviously you can color however you want. Just make sure you are leaving you know, every alternative intersection empty while covering the other one. Okay, so once I do this, you will see how the pattern takes shape. That will create a different texture to your geometry pattern, inshallah. Okay, get this done. How long is the video so far? Okay, not bad. So this is a technique that you should be learning earlier on. That way you can apply it to any geometry pattern you do. Inshallah, we'll be doing lots of geometry patterns, hopefully, and we'll be experimenting with different techniques to enhance the beauty of the geometry patterns. As they're already so beautiful, but then we would like to also experiment with whatever beauty we have to see if we can make it even more beautiful, inshallah. I'm just going to color that in, and as you see, it's taken on a different kind of look. Okay, now as I've mentioned to you, you can use whatever coloring you want, okay, but use two different kind of colors. That way you'll be able to see the interlacing more clearly. Okay, here's the last part. Is it the last part? Yes, it is the last part. So here is a basic interlace that is taking place. If you look carefully, it's like it's weaving through each of the lines. Okay, so the purple is weaving through. Can you see? It's gone above the green here, but under the green here, then above the green, under the green. Same thing, the green has gone above the purple here, but under the purple here. Then when it goes around, it goes above the purple here, under the purple here, which gives you a different kind of view of this pattern, and it creates some kind of harmony between all of these lines. So I hope you understood from this lesson about interlacing. So I want you to try and interlace your six-fold rosette that you have been working so hard to learn so far. Jazakallah khairan wa ahsan jaza.